Hello, I'm Dr. Nicole, and I am so happy that you are looking into ASEA Redox. Most people that watch this are probably trying to figure out what redox molecules even are, how they work, and who the heck cares? So, this is what we are going to talk about. I came across this technology while at a conference with Dr. Bruce Lipton. And if you do not know who he is, you should definitely check him out. But let me just say that Dr. Bruce Lipton is a world renowned scientist, a stem cell biologist. He was studying stem cells back before most people even knew what they were. He is a cell biologist that has taught at many universities, including medical school programs, and has an extensive list of completed research projects, including cloned human stem cells, muscular dystrophy, and other molecular mechanisms that control cell behavior. He's an author, international speaker, and frontrunner in the development of epigenetical studies. So I say all of that to say that the scientific and research driven part of my brain said, wow, if this product is here at a conference where Dr. Lipton is, that's saying something. And in fact, there were 3 products highlighted that weekend, and it was ASEA Redox, the BioWell device, and the LifeWave patches. And that is what led me to researching all 3 of these and seeing why and how these products were so fantastic. And I knew right away that I wanted to incorporate them into my practice because of the phenomenal results that people were getting. So, what are redox molecules? It is actually a huge field of science. It's not something that the company ASEA specifically discovered or something that they made up. You can actually go online, you can go to PubMed, you can research what the scientific community is actually finding with the molecules of the body. And you can even find textbooks on it as well. So, redox molecules are involved in every system of our body. And the easiest way to think about it is that as you make energy, the ATP in your cells, it is through a process that is called the Krebs cycle. And that happens in your mitochondria. Maybe you remember that from high school science class. Now, for the longest time, it was thought that the reductants and the oxidants that get kind of spun off during the Krebs cycle was kind of like the exhaust of your car. It was just byproducts or waste products of making energy. But in the late 90s, it was actually realized that they have a function. And that really ended up opening this entire field. These reductants and oxidants in combo, if we kind of condense the words together, redox. So these redox molecules actually have specific functions. So reductants are negatively charged, which means they donate, they give away, they reduce things. This would be like glutathione or catalase. These are massive antioxidants within our body. Now, the redox molecules in ASEA actually turns on the glutathione in our body. And glutathione itself is incredibly important. It is a master detoxifier and a master at really delivering information within the body. It's quite incredible. Now, the oxidants are the signalers. So, for example, if you have a damaged cell, the healthy cells that are around it are going to send out a signal to the body. And that is how the body knows to actually come into that area and either repair the damage, or if the cell is too damaged, it will just kill it off and then replicate a young, healthy cell in its place. So that signaling, that talking, is done through oxidants. And it's done outside of the cell, but there's also signaling within our cells. So our bodies, which ultimately affects our cells, are affected by our environment. what we eat, what we drink, the air that we breathe, it all impacts us. And our genes can be read in different ways depending upon those signals from our environment. And oxidants are a part of that cascade that allows our genes to be read in a certain way. So we have signaling within our cells as well as between our cells. But why would we need this product? We just said our body is already making it in every cell within our mitochondria. So why would we need a supplement with it? Because after you hit puberty, you start making less. Our body goes through a lot of changes and we become less efficient at making redox signaling molecules. And we can see this. As we age, we watch our bodies start to have illness, diseases, and other imbalances that we don't see in younger people. Our healing time even goes down. A 5-year-old is going to heal faster than an 18-year-old, who heals faster than the 50-year-old. So as we age and these redox molecules get less and less, that call out for help will get weaker. So think about your cell phone. We know what it's like to have a conversation with 5 bars of service, right? It's clear, it's clean communication versus 1 bar of service. So let's say I had an emergency. If I tried to call 911 with 1 bar of service, even though the firehouse might be right around the corner from me, they're not going to be able to fully understand me. They won't be able to know what's going on, where I'm at, and what's needed. So even though they have everything they need to deal with the emergency, if that communication isn't strong because of a lack of signal, they're not going to be able to get to right where they are needed. And this same thing happens in our body. So if the cell has a weak signal, whether inside of it or outside cell to cell, the body might not be able to hear where there is damage. So things can start to become chronic, or it doesn't hear that there's a mutation somewhere and something starts to then get out of control. And if you could reestablish that strong signal, just like what you had when you were younger, then it would be extremely profound for the body. For the longest time, they thought that it was impossible to make these molecules outside of the body because these molecules are very fleeting. They're like little sparks. So imagine lighting a sparkler and then trying to grab one of the sparks, sticking it and stabilizing it into a mason jar, and then bringing it inside your house to light your candle. You can't do it, right? And that's what the scientific community thought was the case with redox signaling molecules until a team of scientists figured it out. And that is what is packaged in ASEA's redox liquid, like a bottle full of little sparks. And when you take it, they will work in your body wherever you need it. So it's not the liquid itself that is doing the healing. Your own body is doing that. These molecules are simply amplifying the call for help. So your body can go in and figure out where the damage is and what needs to be repaired. You can get a bit more targeted in specific areas with the gel, but even taking it internally, your body is intelligent. It knows where it needs to go. And this is why it can do something different for every person, because damage can look different for each person. And we don't always know where this damage is. Now, when you look at the ingredient list, you're going to see that it says chloride and sodium, which may have you going, great, so it's salt water. That's it? But no, these are the straight ingredients that make up the molecules. It's like baking. If you have eggs, butter, flour, sugar, milk, what are you baking? Cookies? A cake? What kind of cake? The ingredients are just what make up the finished product. It's not the finished product itself. They go through an extensive process to create and stabilize these molecules. But because they are made up of naturally occurring elements in your body, it means that you can't be allergic to it and it's not going to interact with any medications. Plus, if you take more than what your body needs at that time, your body is just going to turn the molecules back into salt water and your body will deal with it appropriately. From assisting with chronic pain, fibromyalgia, traumatic brain injury cases, and so much more, there is a laundry list of conditions that these redox molecules have been beneficial for. Because remember, your body is extremely intelligent. It knows where to send the healing energy to. It's just that sometimes it needs help amplifying that cell signal. And that is where ASEA Redox comes in. If you're interested in learning more or getting your hands on some, just check out the information below or get back to the person that shared this video with you.